What's up, everybody? Tim Campbell.
SeMonne Campbell.
And welcome to another episode of I Will Will You. Listen, what's the subject about?
This one is going to be about, well, I don't want to say necessarily telephones, but like, let's say you're going through your spouse's phone or your partner's phone and
Right.
you see some things that can be disturbing for you. How would that make you feel? What would you do?
Well, first of all, I got to ask, how many of you go through your spouse's phone? Okay. So we got to put some context around this. SeMonne goes through my phone. I don't go through your phone.
Right. It's always been that way.
So why would you go through? Okay, let's start there. Why would you go through somebody's phone?
Well, my upbringing was a little bit different than Tim's upbringing. So, it's so when that was like the norm for the home environment I was in. It was okay to cheat. It was okay to do these things. And so to me, I didn't look at cheating as bad as Tim did. When I met Tim, he taught me more about what loyalty looks like and love looks like in that area.
So, okay, so this is my question then. Do you trust me?
I do trust you.
So do you think I'm the kind of person that cheats?
Actually, I don't. I know, like, you're totally different than what I'm. I know. I don't think you're the cheating type. However, every now and then, I still do it. I don't know why.
So is going through the phone more so, and put it like this. I don't know how you feel, but is going through the phone does it have anything to do with insecurity? That it may be a time of insecurity?
Yeah, I do relate to that, because in my mind I made up this own image of a female, of the type of woman that you should be with. And so every now and then, I do get a little insecure, and then that's when I do it. I don't do it like every day.
Okay. So I'm not a cheater. You're not a cheater. You go through my phone. I don't go through your phone. So I don't know if this is not a right or wrong issue. Like I don't have any problem with you going through my phone, because I don't have anything to hide.
He doesn't even have a code on his phone, too, ladies, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, why would you put a code on the phone unless there was something I didn't want you to see? And so when I look at the things that I don't want you to see, and I may be hurting somebody, but that's good though. You shouldn't be hiding things from your spouse anyway. If I don't want to have you see anything, I'm going to put a code on the phone. Or I'm gonna put a lock on my phone.
Or if you do put a code in a lock, you give your partner, your spouse, you give them that code or that access. Just our personal opinion. Because I don't want him with nobody, and I don't want to be with nobody. So.
But see, I think this is a trust issue.
Right.
Because there's some things, now that I think about it, there's some things that I don't want you to see in my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, there's some texting that I do. I have some friends, and I don't want you to know all my friends' business. Mm-hmm. Like, because a lot of my friends, they confide in me through text. So they may say, hey, Tim, this and that is going on. And when my friends tell me something, I don't go back and tell you. Right? And I don't know what they call it, pillow talking or whatever. But
that's not pillow talking.
It's not?
No, pillow talking is when you cheat. No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I got to get my terminology right.
A little different.
But see, where I was going with that, is my friends will say something to me. I'm not going to run back and gossip about their business to you.
Right.
And they may do it by text. Hey, Tim, I'm going through this, and that. Or even if they borrow money from me. Like sometimes I don't tell you that my friends borrow money.
Yeah, and I see that, and I'm like, babe, you done gave money away again.
Well, but see, those things, if I have a friend that I'm close to and I respect that piece of it, then that stuff is private.
Right.
And so I may say, but I'm not going to put a lock on the phone. It's just I don't want you to read that stuff or know what's going on in my friend's life.
Right.
So I could see there is some things that maybe you want to keep separate from your relationship, mm-hmm. where a lock on the phone may do that. If you're constantly going through my phone, I may put a lock on that side of it. Or I could just ask you not to go through that piece of it. But if I'm hiding something, truly my intent is not to cheat on you or to hurt you. So I think it has to do more with the what is the intent of somebody locking their phone. So are you hiding because you don't want to let me know what you're doing? What's the intent? Are you trying to cheat? Or are you just trying to protect somebody else? Or there's other reason why you would lock the phone, but I think it's more of a trust and intent conversation to the whole deal.
Yeah. However, back to my point and my only point. I'm going to look through your phone, and I'm going to have the code, and I'm going to have the password.
Yeah.
But I understand that, though. I did have to learn being with Tim, but because my upbringing was different, so I did have to learn to give him space, and respect his area, his boundaries. Give him myself boundaries.
And I think the conversation is too murky with this, because you do need to respect your spouse's space. At the same time, your spouse.
Right.
Like if your spouse is out there cheating and doing things, and you just don't trust the spouse, then you got a trust issue. It's not a stay out of my stuff issue.
Right.
It's really a trust issue that.
So, question.
Yeah.
So let's say somebody get their partner's phone and they see something they have that should not have been in there, like a naked picture of a girl or whatever.
Yeah. See, I the way I look at it is that every relationship has a standard.
Right.
And that standard should govern the relationship. And my belief is that there's certain things that's inappropriate behavior in the relationship, and these are not rules and regulations. It's just the condition of my heart is that my heart says that I shouldn't be doing certain things, so I don't do them. They're not rules and regulations. It's just those are the standards of our relationship, and that's the agreement that we have. And so for us, seeing a naked picture of another woman on my phone, that's a breach of the standard. That's a breach of trust. So that a woman or a male that finds that on their spouse's phone, that gives them a reason to trip off on their spouse.
Right.
And depending on how you trip out on them, I wouldn't say that's reason. That's reason to confront your spouse.
Right.
I'll put it like that. So if I see something on your phone, if I see some sexual parts on your phone, and I'm like, now number one, that's interesting too, because if I see it on your phone, I don't think that it was intended to be there. So I'm gonna be like, I don't think this. I'm gonna question you about it, but not to the point where I think that you put it on there intentionally to look at that.
Right.
We got a level of relationship that I'm gonna be like, SeMonne, what's this doing on your phone? You know this ain't. What's this about? Explain that to me. And then whatever you say, I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah. But then if I see it come up again, now you have given me a track record, and so now I got to escalate the level of confrontation and be like, no, what's going on? This constantly gets on your phone. I mean, the first time may have been an accident. Well, what's going on?
Right. And now you see how Tim handled that. That's why I love him. That's how I know he's my better half. Because if I would have seen a picture in his phone, there would have been no talking, I'm learning and I'm growing, But, I've never, out of all the years I've been with him, I've never had an instance like that where I had to worry about anything like that. We dealt with some, cheating and stuff in our younger days, but so far as me running into that type of stuff, I've never have. And I think what you were saying has a lot to say with, with your morals,
Yeah.
And that's why I love him so much, because he has morals, he has standards, and even for his, he said he's setting a standard for, the Campbell family, like even his son, he wants his son to be a certain way, and I like that.
And and this is the thing is that when it comes to issues of trust and different things, I'm only in control of myself.
Right.
So when I say that I trust you, that's the only thing I can do.
Right.
I don't say. I don't establish the trust based off of what you do. I establish the trust, say that this is what our marriage should be about.
Right.
And so if you're going outside of the lines of the marriage, I'm saying, listen, that's I'm not cool with that. Mm-hmm. So if you love me, let's talk about how we can make this work. Mm-hmm. And that's more to me that's a foundation to build off versus having bickering back and forth, constantly arguing, constantly having a non-trust. But there is some times in our relationship where the trust has been broken, right? And so, and and it's been broken for certain reasons. So in those times, I was like checking your phone, and I was like, well, what's going on? Let me check the phone. So in those times, there was a reason, and so I think for some people, you need to be understanding why your spouse is checking your phone. You know what you're doing. You know what you got caught doing. You know that there's a level of mistrust. So if your spouse needs to feel comfortable, if you're not doing anything, your spouse needs to feel comfortable, then let them check your phone, because you got to build that trust once it's been broken. You got to build it back up. So if you're checking the phone, then but really you got to get to a point where you grow up and say, our relationship should be better than this. Like if I always got to check on you, and I always have to see where you're going and different things, then now this is funny too, because I was just playing, right? But while SeMonne was asleep, I was just playing around. I put a tracker on her phone, so one of those things that identifies where a person is gone.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it because I was mistrusting of SeMonne. Actually, I did it for my kids, because I wanted to know where my kids were.
We was testing the app out.
And so I was testing out on her phone, but then the app was still on the phone. So one day I pulled up the app and I got to see every place that she was going. And so when she got home, I was like, what was you doing over here? What was you doing over here? And just playing around with her. But the intent wasn't that I mistrusted her. It was just we were just having fun with each other, And so, whenever you get into a area in life where you got to hide this and hide that, then that should be a recognition to you that I'm in the wrong place. And I want you to work on. We're in the fourth quarter of 2013 when we're shooting this video. We're in the fourth quarter of 2013. One thing I want you to work on for the new year is, if you recognize there's an area of your life that you need to change, you got to start working on that. So if you're the kind of person that can't be trusted and your spouse is always checking your phone, that should be a red flag to you to say, man, what is it about me that my spouse can't trust me? You need to start building that trust in the relationship, because there's some places that you guys got to go together, and you're not going to get there if you're not able to trust one another.
And I was gonna say too, don't get so mad at your spouse or your partner. Don't get mad that they're doing those things. Some people process things differently. Like for me, I have to talk myself like, SeMonne, you're going to the left field again, come back. Tim's not that type of person, and I have to bring myself back to reality, so I'm not making up these crazy stories in my head,
So I'm gonna start checking your phone.
Yeah, you can. I don't have a lock on mine. That's fine.
I'm gonna put a lock on mine.
No, that's not gonna happen.
All right. So we would love to get your feedback on this issue of is it okay to check your spouse's phone? Do you check your spouse's phone? Do you think they should have passwords on their phone? Give us your input on that. And this may range. Maybe you've been married, just got together, been married. It'd be interesting to see somebody that's married for 10 years
and still checking the phone. But we're not judging. We're not judging.
Well.
No, we're not judging. All right.
No, but you check. I mean, we've been married for 10 years plus. You may check my phone.
Yeah.
But not for no mistrust issues.
No.
So, or somebody that's married for a year. So there may be some variances of opinion. So we want to hear from you. Hit us up, IWillWillU.com, or go to Facebook, IWillWillU.com, the number 2, and we'll talk to you on the next post. See you later.